It's 4 a.m. in the sketchiest part of Manaus, Brazil, and I'm locked outside the Airbnb. The air is sticky and thick and punctuated by the sound of a distant buzzing mosquito. I'm lying on my back amidst the cracked tile floor, surrounded by pieces of luggage all around. My friends, Nick and Madi, are downstairs waiting for a locksmith. I'm dead. It's not so much the fact that we had to argue and bargain with a pot-bellied Jeep driver to barely make it to our flight, or the fact that we spent 2.5 hours at the police station figuring out Madi's lost or stolen passport. Nor is it the fact that I have blisters between my left thumb and index finger from trying a key in a doorknob and twisting it for 30 minutes. No. It's more that the last couple of months have been a lot. Early mornings and late nights, willing myself to stare at the computer screen and work on my thesis, where the thing that once brought me excitement now inspired dread. And after I had finally finished my thesis and graduated, I saw the slow dissolution of the community that I had spent 5 years building up. Friends went to graduate school. The apartment items slowly emptied. And here I was, adrift, without a shore in sight. Suddenly the elevator door opens and out walks a skinny old man with a motorcycle helmet in the nook of his left elbow. He marches up to the door and Nick and Madi follow. This is the locksmith. Madi's calling the owner of the Airbnb as the locksmith pulls out his picks and he begins to work on the deadbolt. Nick is standing there and I'm watching him as the locksmith is twiddling, and suddenly he twists his tools twice and the lock slides back into the door. We're surprised and it sounds very promising. He twists the handle of the doorknob and pushes it, but the door doesn't budge. He shoves it harder, but the door remains still. The locksmith, Madi, and the apartment host are speaking in quick Portuguese on the phone. And the apartment host is saying she doesn't understand what's happening. Of course, the door always opens naturally, but the locksmith is explaining that she doesn't understand, that there's something blocking this door. And he begins to bang his fist along. He beckons Nick and I over, and he bangs his fist starting from the bottom edge of the door. And he's banging it and banging it. And you can see that it's giving at every angle until we get to the top left corner, where he's banging and then suddenly it doesn't give at all. And then my heart sinks when I realize what this means. The door has been locked from the inside. Nick and I turn to each other and start to debate whether we should go inside, as the locksmith is ringing the doorbell and yelling in Portuguese for someone to come outside. And we're still debating, and Madi's confused on the phone when suddenly the locksmith yells something in Portuguese and lifts his arms up on the metal door frame, pulls himself up, and with a 2-footed kick, kicks through the door. The latch is in smithereens and flies across this narrow, dark kitchen corridor. Everything is silent. I wonder aloud if the person who's inside is still alive. Madi, as we walk in, says I'm scared. The locksmith says he's scared too. I step forward through the dark kitchen corridor and my body is tingling. As my eyes adjust to the light, I see the outline of the couch, the curtains, the table, and everything is so clear. I walk to the curtain and brush my hand aside, and there's no one there. And I continue walking to the far room, and Nick goes to the other room. As I bend down to look beneath the bed, my heart's folding in on itself, and I'm imagining a man with a knife in his left hand, his right hand crossed over his chest, ready to just leap out and stab me. And there's no one there under the bed. And Nick and I convene, and we check once, twice, 3 times just to make sure that there is absolutely no one in the apartment. But in the end, we're reassured. And by this time, it's 5 a.m., and the sun is rising. And it's time for us to go to sleep. My body is so tired as I'm lying there. But I am aflame. It's been a long time, but I recognize this feeling. I'm alive.